Namaskar, welcome to this session. We have been considering the Prakriti, the Drushya factor of conjunction, which is the cause of sorrows, the first cause of sorrows, original cause of sorrows. So we are dealing with the Prakriti, which is such an important principle in the philosophy of Sankhya. The Sankhya philosophy deals with two principles called Purusha and Prakriti. And here, in the 2.18, Patanjali has described Prakriti as Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilam, Bhutendriyarpakam, Bhoga Apavargartham Drushyam. And the Prakriti has been described in the terms Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilam. Prakasha Shilatvam, Kriya Shilatvam, and Sthiti Shilatvam. And this is reference to Sattva Rajatama Gunas. This is reference to Pradhana and Prakriti of Sankhya. So we were considering why Patanjali has not used the words Prakriti and Pradhana, although he implies Prakriti and Pradhana. And that's a technical term of the philosophy of Sankhya or Sankhya Shastra or Sankhya Darshanam, that Pradhana and Prakriti are the terms used in that philosophy. And Patanjali is also referring to those the same, but avoids using the word Prakriti and Pradhana. And we have seen as to why he refers to those but doesn't mention those in express way. He implies it but doesn't expressly mention it. And we were considering why this has been done. The Prakriti in the form of Drishyam is discussed by Patanjali, and these are Sattva, Raja, Tama Gunas, designated as Prakasha Shilatva, Kriya Shilatva, and Sthiti Shilatva. These gunas denote Prakriti. The Sattva, Raja, Tama, three gunas denote Prakriti. So, I was telling you in the last session that Sattva, Raja, Tama gunas are not of Prakriti. They are Prakriti by themselves. They are not attributes or characteristics of Prakriti principle. They themselves are Prakriti. This is so important to impress on our minds. Otherwise, we will think that these are gunas of Prakriti. These are not gunas of Prakriti, but the gunas themselves are Prakriti. These gunas denote Prakriti by such derivation as all effects, karya, are supported in it, and they are denoted by such words as Pradhana and Prakriti. So, the gunas themselves are Prakriti, the gunas are not of Prakriti. This is such an important statement while we are trying to study the philosophy of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So, Patanjali has not used the Paribhashika Sagnya. The technical term of the Shastra, technical term of Sankhya has been avoided, and this is a brilliant approach that Patanjali has taken. Again, I repeat, although he implies Prakriti, he doesn't mention Prakriti. Although he implies Pradhana Tattvam, he doesn't mention Pradhana Tattvam. This is his forensic skill in formalizing the darshanam of himself, which is called Yoga Darshanam. Now, one more thing to be noted here is that in Sankhya Shastra, Sattva Rajatama Trigunas are, as I said, are wrongly construed as gunas of Prakriti. And this is how one is expressing it, or one is taking to mean it. And therefore, an unnecessary relationship between Prakriti and Guna is established as Dharmi and Dharma. The relationship of the nature of qualified and quality. We think Prakriti is qualified and Gunas are quality. Prakriti is Dharmi and Gunas are Dharma. This will be a faulty notion, idea and concept. The Sattvadi Gunas, Sattva Rajatama Gunas are not Gunas of Prakriti, but they themselves are Prakriti, and that is the Swarupam of Prakriti. Intrinsic nature of Prakriti is that it is Sattva Rajatama Gunas, and not that the three Gunas are qualities of Prakriti. That is their Swabhavam. The Prakriti or Pradhana, its Swabhava, its intrinsic nature, its essential nature, its substantive nature is Trigunas. This is very important to be engraved in our minds as students of philosophy. And I recall a Sankhya Sutra coming to this effect. Sattvadinam atad dharmatvam tadrupatvat. This is a beautiful aphorism that you get in Sankhya Sutra, Sankhya Darshanam, known as Kapila Sankhyam. So, Sattvadinam atad dharmatvam, not the dharmatvam, not the dharma. Tadrupatvat, it is the rupa. It is essential nature. So, Trigunas are essential, intrinsic, substantive nature of Prakriti, and not qualities or attributes of Prakriti. Today it is not important, but when you pursue in the philosophy, this will be very important idea to be conceived. Like the sun has light. Light comes from sun. We don't say light itself is sun, but the light comes from sun. So the sun in the sky becomes dharmi, and the light becomes the dharma. Or when you lit a lamp, it gives prakasha, it gives light. So it is not that case here. It is not the Prakriti that gives sattva or prakasha. It is not Prakriti that gives kriya. It is not Prakriti that radiates or dispenses sthiti. Prakriti itself is that. So we tend to confuse between the substrate and the characteristic. So that usually happens. Mango has a smell. The smell is radiated by mango. Rose has a smell. Rose has a form. And then rose and its form are two different things. Rose and its odor is two different things. Rose is substrate and odor comes from it. Light is substrate, the flame is substrate, and the light comes from the flame. That is not the case here. So we should deeply engrave this reality And as the Sankhya Sutra in 6.39 says, Satvadinam atadharmatvam tadrupatvat, na tadharma but tadrupam itself. So, Sattva Rajatama Gunas are not Prakriti Dharma, they themselves are Prakriti. So the Gunas are essence of Prakriti and not properties or qualities of Prakriti. So I am trying to put it in different form, the reality, for you to really deeply engrave it. So the Gunas are essence of Prakriti and not properties of Prakriti or qualities of Prakriti or characteristics of Prakriti. So Prakriti is not Dravya and Sattvadi are not Gunas. Again, in physical chemistry we have this concept, Dravya and Guna, substance and quality. Water is a substance and water has a quality. Any chemical substance has a quality. So this is not the relationship between the Gunas and Prakriti. It is not that something, Prakriti is Dravya and the Sattvadi, Sattva etc. are Gunas. So there is no relationship of the nature of substance and quality or substrate and quality. So having emphasized on that fact, now we proceed to another prima facie view, which is thus. It is like this. The view is Patanjali having inhibitions? Is Patanjali is having reservations for Pradhana Karana Vada? Because with the Vedantic philosophy coming up, the Sankhyas becoming major opponents of Vedanta Darshanam, and the Sankhya expressly declaring Pradhana Karana Vada, Prakriti Karana Vada, a doubt comes in the mind of a ardent student, inquisitive student, that is Patanjali refraining from embracing or avoiding to embrace Pradhana Karanavada, which is expressly embraced by Sankhyas? Is he having reservations to accept Pradhana Karanavada? Because in the sutra, nowhere, in both the sutras, nowhere he is bringing the word Prakriti or Pradhana. He is not using those technical terms of Sankhyas, which is Prakriti and Pradhana, which is said to be material cause of the universe. So, Sankhyas hold that Pradhana or Prakriti is material cause of the whole universe. Is Patanjali having reservations here? Is he shirking from embracing Pradhana Karanavada, whereby he avoids using these terms? So, a part of this question has been answered above, where we have said he is referring to Pradhana and Prakriti but not mentioning Pradhana and Prakriti, and we have seen why. He is using the word Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilatvam or Shilam, and these gunas are not different than Pradhana and Prakriti. These gunas, or the mention of Prakriti by way of Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilam, doesn't mean that it is different substance altogether than Pradhana or Prakriti. So the Gunatrayas, the triad of gunas itself is considered as the material cause of the universe, And this has been made wonderfully clear by Vyasa in his part of commentary. So, Patanjali is also endorsing with Pradhana Karana Vadam, Prakriti Karana Vadam of Sankhyas. But he has a different route or different path, different channel to endorse it. This is very interesting aspect insofar as the philosophical positions are concerned. Anyway, coming to Vyasa, Vyasa makes it clear that these Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Shilam, referring to Sattva Raja Tama Gunas, are very much the material cause of the universe. So he says, Ete gunaha paraspara uparakta pravibhagaha paranaminaha sanyoga viyoga dharmana itaretara upashrayena uparjita murtayah paraspara anga angitve api asambhinna shakti pravibhagaha. This has a lot of forensic importance. We don't have importance for it while we are taking a primary reading of it. Now, it may not be very, very important. But Vyasa has explained, which is going to be very important at a little higher level of understanding Patanjali's philosophy, although not at today's level. But we must be getting oriented to this. So what does Vyasa say here? He says, Ete gunaha paraspara uparakta. That means these gunas are mutually getting influenced by each other and they are influencing each other. Sattva Rajatama gunas are mutually getting influenced by each other and are influencing each other. They get colorized by each other and they color each other. They impact each other and they get impacted by each other. This is a wonderful substance. And therefore it is the material cause of the universe. That is how it works as a material cause of the universe. So, ete gunaha paraspara uparaktaha pravibhagaha. So, actually, they are distinct but can mutually inter-influence each other. Now pravibhaga, the division takes place. How? There comes a division when the three gunas come in interaction and come in inter-influences. The division takes place by way of Pradhana and Gaunatva. Pradhanatvam and Gaunatvam. That is the Pravibhaga. See, we are dealing with the first and foremost cause of the whole matter in the universe. The first and foremost cause, not immediately previous cause. Immediately previous cause, there is no metaphysics. But going to the first cause, primeval cause, primordial cause, it's invariably completely a metaphysical concept. So, that is why he says there comes a division, pravibhaga. Pravibhagam means division. Division of the nature of what? Called pradhanatvam, gaunatvam. Preponderance of something, and then the secondariness of something. So, one of the three gunas takes the place of pradhanatvam, and the other two gunas come in constitution of manifestation. Any manifestation is constituted by three gunas. You will never find any manifestation which is 100% sattva or 100% raja or 100% tama. This is impossible in the universe. Not only that, it is not possible that you will have some manifestation which is only by two gunas, either sattva and raja or sattva and tama or raja and tama. So no manifestation is made up of one guna, no manifestation is made up of two gunas, and all manifestations are made up of three gunas. This is unexceptional law. There is no exception to it. So the three gunas will always come and they will always coexist. They will always come to structure up a manifestation. You cannot be having manifestation of pure sattva, 100% sattva, bereft of rajatama gunas. You cannot have any manifestation of exclusively rajaguna bereft of sattva-tama. You cannot have any manifestation which is exclusively of tamoguna and bereft of sattva-raja. Not even as an exception. This must be underlined. Because otherwise we get lots of exceptions in various laws of sciences. So there are laws given by sciences, but there are exceptions. But here there is no exception. There is always a pravibhaga. The pravibhaga is always of the nature of pradhanatvam and gaunatvam. So again, this aspect has to be underlined, that any prakritic matter, anything of the nature of prakriti, means there are always, invariably, without exception, the three gunas coming together as a material cause. Not that they are coincidentally there, not that they are accidentally the gunas are coming together, not that the second and third guna accidentally comes in. It is always there to constitute that manifestation, be that gross or subtle. And this is absolutely without exception. So the three gunas will always co-opt, always come together, always come in combination of the three, anywhere, everywhere, anytime, all the time. And then, how do they come together? Because these three have distinct qualities, as we have seen: prakasha shilatvam, kriya shilatvam, sthiti shilatvam, or shant swarupam, ghora swarupam, mudha swarupam, or potentiality and then actuality and latency, or the potential energy, kinetic energy and static energy, as we saw in the last session, that the three gunas also raise up something that will be called as potential energy and the kinetic energy and the static energy, because we have seen Prakriti is energy. Prakriti is not matter. If you recall in the last session, it was emphatically mentioned that we should never call Prakriti as matter. Prakriti should be Prakriti. It's a creative cause. And creativity is power of Chaitanyam. And it is Shakti. It is manifestation of Shakti, as the Shakti is spoken of as energy. So, the point is that the three come together. It's not that because it is unexceptional law they have to come together. They come and contribute and participate for manifestation. Because sometimes there is an invariable factor in anything. Now, because it is invariable, it is going to be there. And then it may not have any role. It may not have any role. It may not have any contribution. It may not even have any participation. But then, because of the fact that it has invariable concomitance, it is bound to be there, anything and everything. But that's not the case here. It is contributing. Suppose a guna is coming in a very meager proportion with some preponderance given to some other guna, but yet it is not meaningless. Because there is always a purpose, if you recall, always a purpose in every manifestation of Prakriti. No manifestation of Prakriti is purposeless. So no guna will be coming purposelessly as a parasite. It has a purpose. In very constitution of manifestation, be that gross or subtle, metaphysical or physical or chemical or gaseous, it has contribution by being there. So this is what Vyasa is making clear. So ete gunaha paraspara uparakta pravibhagaha paranaminaha. So the paranami means the effect and cause, whatever is turned out by the three gunas coming together. Sanyoga viyoga dharmana itaretar upashrayena. So sanyoga viyoga dharmanam. That means they will participate the pradhana aspect, as I said, the major and minor, the principal and subordinate. The gunas will be coming as principal participant and subordinate participant. Now suppose it is sattvic manifestation, what we call as very pure, we call it as sattvic. Now if it is sattvic manifestation, still there will be rajatama gunas coming in, not as accidental factors, but by sanyoga and viyoga. Because if the sattva guna has to expand in manifestation for something to be designated as sattvic, rajatama gunas have to shrink. So for sattvic manifestation, rajatama gunas will shrink and offer place for sattva guna to expand. So they contribute by that way. If it is rajasic manifestation, the sattva and tama gunas will contract, will offer space for rajaguna to occupy and have preponderance or profusion. If it is tamasic manifestation, sattva and rajagunas will contract. So that's called sanyoga viyoga. For a manifestation to be designated as sattva, rajatama gunas contract. For manifestation to be designated as rajasic, sattva tama gunas have to contract. For manifestation to be designated as tamoguna manifestation, sattva rajagunas have to contract. So unless they do that, they will not give space for expansion of any particular guna, which is going to be pradhana aspect or primary aspect or principal aspect. So that's what is mentioned in Pravibhaga, which is pradhana and upasarjana, pradhana and gauna. And then by sanyoga viyoga, further itaretar upashrayena, they will offer support to each other. So the three gunas, out of the three gunas, no guna is coming as a parasite. It is coming to support for manifestation. So it will be mutually support. They will be mutually supporting each other for different kinds of manifestations, which are designated as sattvic manifestation or rajasic manifestation or tamasic manifestation. The secondary gunas upasarjana gunas will also contribute. And therefore, paraspara itaretara upashrayena uparjita murtayaha paraspara anga angitve api. So they become mutually the relationship of anga angitvam. So the primary manifestation will become angi, the primary guna in manifestation will become angi, and the secondary gunas in the manifestation will become anga, the whole and the part. So that much is their contribution. They become part of that manifestation. It might be sattvic manifestation, rajatama gunas are part of it. If it is rajasic manifestation, sattva tama gunas are part of it. If it is tamoguna manifestation, sattva raja gunas are part of it, part of the whole. Now, if you remove the part from the whole is incomplete. So that much is importance of presence of three gunas in any manifestation. And then they manifest with asambhinna shakti. So when the sattvic manifestation is there, rajatamogunas are not tainters by being invariable participants. They are not tainters. If it is rajasic manifestation, sattva tamagunas are not tainters. They are part of the manifestation and not tainters, parasites. So that is asambhinna shakti. They really offer into that manifestation. So they contribute positively. Rajatamogunas in sattvic manifestation will positively contribute and not just remain as parasites, unwanted constituents, but they really participate in it. So this is the wonderful quality of the Prakriti Tattvam or the Dravyam, the Prakriti as Dravyam. So, Bhashyakara, now to mention in one go, Bhashyakara says that only gunas and Srushti, the creation, are not merely karya karana sambandha having in them. It is not cause and effect relationship in them. He also mentions the prakriya. He mentions the process as to how they are material cause. In what way they are in the process of it, process of manifestation, as to how they are in the process. So they can get mutually influenced by each other, they can mutually influence each other, they can impact each other, they can get impacted by each other, mutually having inter-influences within them. And the Pradhana Gaunatvam is the division in the form of principal and subordinate, or principal and subordinations. And also they participate by conjunction and separation. They will come in conjunction and they will also participate by separation. Now, so far we are considering a pure sattvic manifestation, pure rajasic, pure tamasic, exclusively sattvic, exclusively tamasic, or preponderance of sattvic, preponderance of rajasic, preponderance of tamasic. And there they come in by way of conjunction and separation. Because otherwise there will be all the three gunas seen in an object. The universal objects that we see, there will be always the three aspects constituting the manifestation. So, how do they participate? It is by conjunction and separation. That is called sanyoga viyoga. And give rise to a unified manifestation. So, the three gunas can get unified to structure a manifestation. And therefore, you say something is primarily sattvic, or primarily rajasic, or primarily tamasic. So they are not coming as parasites to spoil the manifestation, but to constitute the manifestation. Asambhinna Shakti is a wonderful predicate. So they are not spoilers, but they are coming to constitute it. So Vyasa's commentary has enormous purport. And therefore we need to decipher this Vyasa statement as we graduate in our levels. So when we go on a little higher level of understanding this, we will have to further decipher, dissect the Vyasa's commentary and try to understand it with a greater depth. So he has beautifully given the or described the articulated the very process of Prakriti functioning. How the Prakriti functions has been mentioned. So let's just to jot down it by few points for us to have better clarity in this commentary of Vyasa's statement, which is for all levels, from neophyte level to very proficiency level. This statement is going to be coming without change. So let's try to understand little point by point by dissecting the Vyasa's commentary, which is so important to really conceive what Vyasa is trying to tell us. In any manifestation, the material cause, it is wholesomely Prakriti, 100% Prakriti in any manifestation. Like you get some manifestations which are partially, but primarily solid, but there is also gaseous and liquid components in it. Or something is liquid primarily, but there is also solid matter in it. The microscopes will divulge it to us. Little insight will divulge. So we cannot really say something is absolutely solid, there is also some gas in it, gaseous factor in it, or liquid factor in it. So little deeper study of physics will tell us. Something might be purely gaseous or purely liquid or purely solid. But many of the matters are combinations, but there is preponderance of solidity, therefore we say solid matter. Or preponderance of gaseousness, therefore we say gaseous matter. Or preponderance of liquidity, and therefore we say it is liquid matter. So the Prakriti, the three gunas, sattva, raja, tama gunas, although they stand distinctly different from each other, like we always distinguish between sattvic and rajasic, and then we think that they are poles apart, sattva and tama poles apart, raja and tama poles apart. But as a material cause, in any gunavyaparam, in any gunatmaka manifestation or prakritic manifestation, the three gunas are coming in the way as described paraspara uparakta, mutually influencing, impacting, and mutually getting impacted and influenced. So in sattva pradhana manifestation, the rajas of the nature of pravritti, tamas of the nature of sthiti, they will be having invariable concomitance, and not accidentally but in very structuring of it. But because of the preponderance, we say this is sattvic vyapar, this is rajasic vyapar, this is tamasic vyapar. Or this is sattvic manifestation, this is rajasic manifestation, there is tamasic manifestation. However, all the three are there in any manifestation, and that too coming with a contribution, participation, and not incidentally or accidentally or as a parasite. So, that is how they can come together to become first cause, material cause of anything. The second aspect to be noted in Vyasa's commentary is that there is the Pravibha of Gunas, the division of Gunas. The division of the Gunas means Sattva Pravibhagam or Rajo Pravibhagam or Tamo Pravibhagam. Sattva Pravibhagam in case of Sattva preponderance, profusion. Raja Pravibhaga with respect to Raja preponderance or Raja profusion. And Tama Pravibhaga means Tama profusion or Tama preponderance. That's the Pravibhaga. So therefore we say something is primarily sattvic, something is primarily rajasic, something is primarily tamasic. So that's the primariness is Pravibhaga of the nature of pradhanam, and the other one becomes gaunam. Therefore there will be mahadansha or alpansha. So whatever is the preponderance, there will be mahadansha. The greater part of it is sattvic, therefore we say it is sattvic. Greater part of it is rajasic, therefore say it is rajasic. Greater part of it is tamasic, therefore we say something is tamasic. That's called mahadansha. And there will be alpansha. So mahadansha and alpansha come together. And that creates the pravibhaga in manifestations, whereby we say something is very, very sattvic or pure sattvic, absolutely sattvic, or something is absolutely rajasic, pure rajasic, or something is absolutely tamasic and pure tamasic. That means we refer to pravibhaga and the pradhanatvam. And we tend to have unsighted condition to Gaunatvam, whereas Vyasa points out that you should not be unsighting the Gaunatvam, the secondariness. It is always there. So Pravibhagaha Adhikabhagaha Swalpabhyam. So in relation to Swalpam, there is Adhikabhagaha. This clarification has come in Yoga Vartika of Vijnana Bhikshu. So, that is what Vyasa is mentioning. And therefore, in philosophical statements, it has been said that they are also tainters. Everything is having all the three gunas. We saw during that the three gunas coming together, parinama dukkha, tapa dukkha, samskara dukkha, and gunavrutti, virodham, because all the three gunas come in combinations. Therefore, in a way, they are also tainters. So with that, we will end the session today, and we will continue this in the next session. So, namaskar all of you.